Hi guys, my name is Christine, and today I'm talking about finding confidence in yourself. So confidence is there's a lot of tips online about how to be more confident. I think everyone wants that more confidence in life, but there's a lot of misinformation out there. And obviously, there's also a lot of good information out there as well. But I'm going to go into basically what I find benefits me the most when it comes to my own confidence and what's helped me with my confidence over the years. Because when I was a kid, I was very timid, and in fact, I was described as timid by like one of my teachers and stuff. And it wasn't until I got to about maybe like 12 or 11 that I really started to get out of my shell. But I was very shy, very reserved at the beginning of my life. And a lot of that had to do with being terrorized at home by a way older sibling, 9 years older than me. Lots and lots of put downs, so many put downs. Not even like the sort of like the sibling kind of like bantery kind of put downs. It was like it was pretty bad. So anyway, I went through this a lot as a kid. It's from an older sibling who was 9 years older than me. I don't know about you, but if I had a sibling and they were 9 years younger than me, and they had been 9 years younger than me, I would have took on a more sort of like maternal role, like a more like a guardian kind of role. There was no way that I would have said those kinds of things that were said to me to my 9 year old my 9 years younger little sister. No way. But unfortunately, he had a lot of problems growing up anyway, so it probably wasn't 100% his fault, but still, it was not great growing up in that environment, and I had to spend a lot of time with him. But anyway, to cut the story short, is that I had none self-esteem. It was beaten out of me, crushed my spirit. My spirit was crushed. And I remember feeling that way from the age of about 3. I remember going to preschool and being very shy and reserved. I would not say anything to anyone. The only way that I would talk is if someone spoke to me. Okay, and that's the way that it stayed for a very, very long time. And like I said, it wasn't until I got into I started going to secondary school basically, because that's what we have in the UK. When you turn, I think it's like 11, you then go to secondary school, and secondary school is, you're putting with a lot more older kids. Not in classrooms, but you're mixed with a lot of older kids because you're the youngest going in. It's sort of, yeah. So it says secondary school is from the ages of like 11 to 16, and it was a lot more independent because I was a bit further away from where I lived. And I think probably we spent a bit more time there as well. But anyway, I started to meet other friends. I started to meet other people, and my confidence just grew. Like I met my best friend, who I'm still friends with now, on the first day, and she really helped me come out of her shell. I think what worked was because she was a popular girl in her old school, whereas I was like had zero popularity in my old school. So when we come together, it's sort of like we built each other up in a way. Like she became more, I don't know, maybe sensible, and I became more outgoing because we sort of like it just worked. And because neither of us had that history of being in the old school together, because the secondary school they was coming from multiple different places, that all the kids were from multiple different places, it just helped, right? So that's when my confidence started to get better, and it helped being in a different environment, and it helped meeting new and different friends, especially being best friends with a girl who was actually one of the popular kids back at her school. So yeah, it was that was when things started to really sort of change around for me, even though I was still living in that environment where I was getting lots of put downs, and just my life was still pretty much a living hell. So when so that's pretty much how I stayed for a long time. I was sort of at that level, and my confidence then really took another shift in my early 20s when I started to learn about self-help. I started to learn about dating and relationships because I was struggling in those areas, And these are things that have gradually really helped me build up my confidence, and basically changed my life. So one of the things is that one of the things that can really help build your confidence is if you start to develop some small little disciplines, but you do them every single day. So, for example, for me, I have back issues. My back issues are terrible. Right? I had a back injury when I was about 25. I'm 32 now. It was just from like lifting. I was working in this warehouse and I was just lifting repeatedly, and I probably wasn't performing the lift very well. And I hurt my back. Okay, and ever since then, I've had back issues. So I literally have to exercise. I have to build muscle all the time, because when I don't do that, I get back issues. Okay, so I have to exercise all the time. I have to have that discipline in my life, because if I don't, my back gets worse. So this is something that I'm going to have to maintain for the rest of my life, to do these like exercises, so like core exercises, glute exercises. But luckily I don't really mind doing it, but it's something that I have to do. But because I have to do it, and it's a discipline that I practice every day, it makes me feel more confident and good about myself because I'm following through. Okay, so one of the best ways that you can build your confidence is to do what you know you should be doing and keep on doing those things. Okay, so because basically confidence doesn't come out of nowhere. People aren't just inherently born with confidence. Sure, it helps if you're born in an environment where the people around you lift you up and don't belittle you. Yeah, sure, that gives you a good head start. I mean, I'm working at a deficit because I did not have that, even though my parents were great at building me up. It was the sibling that sort of crushed me. Okay, so it's important in the environment that you grow up in as well, and also the neighborhood, the kind of school you go to. There's a lot of factors that can play into how a person feels about themselves. So it helps if you've got other people around you that are building you up. But necessarily, like I said, confidence doesn't just come out of nothing. It doesn't bloom out of nothing. You've got to build it. It's almost like a skill. Yeah, it's something that you've got to work on in yourself. Okay, so one of the ways that you can do that is from what I've just said, which is small disciplines practiced every day. Okay, so it could be making nice, nutritious meals for yourself, exercising, working on goals that are important to you. It could be like perhaps you're trying to learn a new language, or you're trying to build a business. Small disciplines that you can work on every single day and keep on doing those things every day. Okay, so you have to build yourself up in that way. Okay, so one of the best ways then, okay, that you can build your confidence and feel better about yourself is also to do what you say you're going to do. So self-discipline, okay, not procrastinating. So let's say, for example, you write a to-do list for that day and you do nothing on it. You do nothing on your to-do list. How do you think you're going to feel about yourself at the end of the day? Not good. If in my estimation, it's probably not very good. But in contrast, if you'd made a to-do list and you did everything on that list, and you did everything that you said you were going to do, and you did it to the best of your ability, how would you feel about yourself after that day? Probably a lot better, right, than if you procrastinated. I'm not saying you're going to feel amazing about yourself, but you're going to feel a lot better about yourself than if you had just procrastinated and you did nothing. Okay, so if you just do what you say you're going to do, that's going to really build your confidence if you do that over a long period of time and you do it every day. Now, I'm not saying you should have a massive long to-do list, especially if you're just starting out. It could be that you just have like 2 items on your list. So maybe it's like a 30-minute walk and make nutritious meal. And that's what you do. That's all you do for that day. And you just continue to do that every day. That's going to help build your confidence. And then you can add more things to it. So I always say as well, another tip too, is that let's say you've always wanted to like write a book or something. Or, let's say you've always wanted to write a book. So don't start by just being like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do a chapter a day. I'm going to write 30 pages. Don't do that, okay? Just start off small. Just do, okay, I'm just going to write for 15 minutes. I'm not going to give myself a word count. I'm not going to give myself a page limit. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to say I'm just going to write for 15 minutes a day. And you could apply that for everything as well. You could say, I'm just going to exercise for 15 minutes a day. I'm just going to study for 15 minutes a day. I'm just going to practice guitar for 15 minutes a day. I'm just going to study for 15 minutes a day. Whatever it may be, right? Just for 15 minutes. And then what you can do is when that becomes easy and effortless and you've made that into a habit. So let's say you do just 15 minutes every day for a month. So when the next month comes around, I'm now going to do 20 minutes. And I'm going to do 20 minutes every day of this thing, of this activity for a month. And then when the next month roll around, I'm going to do 25 minutes, right? And you just keep on building it up. Okay? And this is how you build confidence in yourself. Now, it may seem really simplistic, but like I said, like confidence really comes from just doing these small disciplines and practicing them every day so you feel good about yourself and you don't feel horrible about yourself because you've procrastinated. Okay? So thank you so much for watching. Remember, confidence doesn't bloom out of nothing. You've got to build it. It's something that you've got to develop within yourself. Okay? So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christinelovage.com and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.